You're listening to the Femtrepreneur Show, and this is episode 46. In this episode, we're talking about our favorite passive income streams for 2017 and beyond, specifically ideas that are not online courses. Hey guys, it's Mariah.
And I'm Megan, and I'm excited that we're talking about this, and we are kind of flipping it a little bit since we're not talking about online courses. In this episode, we're talking about other options for passive income. If you missed last week's episode where we talked all about what passive income is, if it's an online course or not, definitely go back and listen to that in case you want to find out if we consider online courses passive income. Yes. But for now, we have how many, Mariah? 5 different examples?
Yeah, we have 5 different types of passive income that you can create, passive income streams that aren't online courses, not the traditional online course format, which I think we should all be thinking about having multiple income streams. And if you do sell online courses or you want that to be your business model, I also want you to be thinking long term, thinking about the sort of big picture of your business will be that you do have online courses that you maybe open a couple times per year, but you also have smaller, what we call passive income products that you sell as well that maybe are evergreen. They're available on your website all the time for a smaller price point. And these to me are super, super passive because someone can purchase it, download it, and use it right away. There's no live calls involved. It's not like a group program. So we're really diving into 5 examples of that. And then we have a couple of different actual examples of people who are selling these types of products for each kind. So let's dive in.
Before I need to correct myself. I said last week's episode is where we explained that. It was actually episode 44. So it was 2 weeks ago. Right. So sorry about that. But yeah, let's dig in. So the first example we have is a downloadable workbook or planning workbook.
Yes. So I have seen some really cool like printable workbooks or printable planners that you can download, print out yourself, put them in a binder, or some people even just get them like like spiral bound themselves.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can download and use on your own time. So it's not actually getting the physical thing shipped to you. It's just downloading the PDF and then printing it and using it however you want to, right? So whether that's a binder or spiral bound or just one page at a time. So I've seen some that are like how to outline your book or how to plan your budget or your home renovation. Obviously, there's a lot of printable like day planners and things like that. But we have a couple of specific examples from some people that we love, some of our favorite online entrepreneurs. So Abby Lawson is super cool. We've actually had her and her husband here on the podcast before, and we'll link to that in the show notes. But they sell these printable sheets. One is called the Intentional Life Planner, and one is called the Simplify Printables. And I think you can buy them together in a bundle, but basically the way they're kind of presented is all these different printable organizational sheets you can use for your life, right? So like keeping track of your calendar, keeping track of your finances, keeping track of your budget, all these different printables that you can use to really manage your home and your life and your business. And you can put them in a binder however you like and sort of design it however you like. And they're super cool. Definitely check them out.
Yeah, I love stuff like this. And I think before we even dig any further in this topic, this is such a great example of just you do a little work up front and you create this downloadable PDF most likely, and then people can just download it endlessly. And it truly could become this like really big product for your business that is completely passive once you've uploaded it to however they're going to buy it. And another example is Kelsey Baldwin of Paper and Oats has an amazing Etsy shop full of inspiration and different options. She does business and personal. One of my favorites is the Baby Keepsake Journal. So it looked so cool. I'm not a mother, at least not yet. But when I have a baby, I know this kind of stuff would be super interesting to me. And I thought it was a great example of how this can be, no matter what niche or industry you're in, you can do these downloadable workbooks or little PDF kits for whoever your ideal customer is.
And I think the important thing to point out if you're listening is that most of these start out as something that the person created for themselves to use themselves, right? Like you might actually have something that you made for yourself, like a laundry tracker, like you were talking about, or any sort of organizational piece of paper that you've made for yourself, for your personal use. You might already have this that you can be selling. And I think for many people that we talk to, they're like, oh, I just created this for my own personal use. I didn't expect it to become a whole business. And that's really what can happen. So, take some inventory of what you're currently using, whether you've created, we're going to talk in a little bit about spreadsheets and calculators and things like that. But if you've created something for your own personal use, how could you make that available for sale and turn it into a passive income stream for something that you already made?
Yeah, it's awesome. So number one is the downloadable workbook, planning workbook, basically like a big pack of PDFs that people can print and printables. So number two is design templates, like Photoshop templates, graphic templates, etc.
Yeah, if you're a designer and you're listening, I really want you to think about how you can take things that you've already designed or how you could create a sort of DIY version of your graphic design services and create a passive income stream by offering templates, right? Of course, it's not going to be a custom design by you or a custom logo or a custom, WordPress theme that you've designed, but it can be something that's a template version that someone on a budget can still have that experience of having something that's your style or your brand. So definitely think about Photoshop, website templates or themes like WordPress themes, any sort of graphics, basically any sort of design template. And we have a couple of examples for you. The first one is White Oak Creative. She sells blog post graphics that you can actually use for your blog. And it comes with like a Pinterest graphic and an Instagram graphic and a Twitter graphic. And I think it even comes with like mock-ups or some kind of like...
It comes with like a mood board. It comes up with... Yeah, she has a lot of stuff. And just in case you're listening to this, we will have all the links to all of the examples we're mentioning in the blog post that accompanies this at thefemshow.com/46. So if you want like links to all of these examples, we will have that in the blog post. But yeah, this blog post graphics kit, she has several different styles as well, but they include a ton of stuff. So I definitely think if you're a designer out there, she would be a great example of how you can take your custom design services and make them a little bit more accessible and bring in some passive income besides these one-on-one clients you may be relying on right now.
Definitely. And I think some people sell like graphic templates that are Photoshop templates, and some people sell them as Canva templates, which is also super easy and accessible.
Yeah, so smart. And then there's also Creative Market, which if you haven't heard of Creative Market, I'm sorry because you're going to be obsessed with Creative Market. Basically, it's a really big marketplace, kind of similar to the concept of Etsy, but it's all for creative products where you can find fonts to download, graphic bundles, stock photos, WordPress themes, and so many other things. And they do big sales, or you can follow certain artists on there. It's amazing.
Yeah. If you're, again, design-wise, if you're a photographer, definitely you could be selling stock photos, definitely something you can just sell again and again without any more work. Themes for WordPress, or like some people design fonts from scratch, which sounds very difficult, but I know
I've actually done it before.
Really?
Not like for sale, but there was there is an iPad app that you can like download, create your own font with your handwriting.
Oh my gosh.
So I did it once,
cool.
and I have it on my computer, but it's not that great. The fonts out there that they like connect, and there's like different options.
Yeah, like scripts.
Really impressive.
Yeah.
And I do see a lot of people using Etsy and Creative Market. Like if you're an artist and you want to sell these templates, I see people kind of they almost have three little shops. They have like their website, then they have Etsy, and then they have Creative Market, and they sell on all of them.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Anyways, but Creative Market is a great place to buy those if you're looking to buy some templates, but also if you want to sell them, a great place as well.
This is a tiny tangent, but what a lot of things we're talking about right now is we're focusing a lot on something that is very passive to deliver, right? Passive to have it fulfilled and have it be delivered to your customer, and the process of buying it is very passive. Something we can talk about in another episode is like, well, there's all these different when you do have your stuff on Etsy or on a marketplace like Creative Market, the traffic and the search is also very passive. So getting traffic and stuff like that, that's another component of it. But we can talk about that whole like system in another thing. But these are all such good examples of things that are just like click, download, and your fulfillment is done. And you didn't have to do anything. Okay, so our next example of passive income product that is not an online course is a copy template or what I call like a content template. Could be like copy scripts, could be email scripts, could be pitch scripts, right? Some people sell like, here's a bunch of pitches that you can use to either pitch the media or pitch your book or pitch another blogger, pitch a sponsor, things like that. Could be a template of like how to write your blog's about page, or a template for book proposals, or a sales page template. One of our friends, Courtney Johnston, who we've done webinars with, and she has an amazing like sales page framework that she's come up with that we use ourselves. She has a product called the Sales Page Kit, and it's basically like a template that helps you write your sales page. It's so awesome.
I know. I love the framework she has
She's
for that
the best.
too. I know. And then our friend Maya Elias also has her content creation toolkit, which is just like this amazing resource of, this could also, maybe some of it could go into the spreadsheet section, which we'll talk about later, but it's just a combination of like Google Docs and spreadsheets that you can use and reference when you're creating your content.
Yes, it's awesome. She has like templates for filling in your blog posts and like how to write things for all your content, how to write your YouTube video scripts, like all that kind of stuff. We always include a lot of like copy and scripts in our courses, but I love the idea of, if you're struggling to figure out something to sell, like, to me, it's just such a simple thing. And this is another example of, you already have this probably. Like, if this is part of what your job is or what your work already is, and you're writing things all the time, you probably already have a template that you go from in your own processes or in your own business. How could you give that, as a copywriter, how could you give a template to someone who can't afford to work with you one-on-one, but still wants your style or wants your sort of framework that they can use?
I also think that we have a product called Webinar in a Box.
Yeah.
Which I feel like could loop under this category.
Totally.
Because it takes people, it's like
content
a Google
template.
Doc, but it walks people through the entire process of creating their webinar and like every slide. So you can definitely think outside of the box for this one. It doesn't have to just be like copy script, but I definitely think what you said, like a content template, is a great way to frame this one.
Definitely. Okay, cool. So our fourth example is spreadsheets, calculators, and trackers. Okay, so this is really, really cool. We've seen more people, I feel like I've seen more people thinking to sell these, Megan, specifically since you came out with yours. And people are like, oh my gosh, you can sell an Excel spreadsheet? And it's like, yeah, you can.
I know. People have been doing it on Etsy for a while.
Yeah.
I think, so you work with some amazing guys at Evolved Finance who are amazing, and they have a thing, it is like a course on Teachable, but the main product is a spreadsheet, and it's called the 20-minute budget. They just have videos that kind of walk you through using the spreadsheets, but it's all based on their budget spreadsheet. So I think that's a great example, again, kind of outside of just your typical business niche.
And some people create these for Facebook ad management. Like, I've seen people sell their own Facebook ad spreadsheets because it is something that's pretty complicated to set up yourself the first time. And if you're managing your Facebook ads yourself, it can be like a dashboard that's automatically inputting like your conversion rates and things like that, so you can keep track of everything. Basically anything that has the calculations already applied in the spreadsheet is what makes it super valuable, right? You're not just creating a spreadsheet template that people have to input their own information and then they have to figure it out themselves. The ones that Megan makes, they automatically are doing the math. Like, the calculations are already applied, the functions are already applied. So if you tweak one number, everything else automatically changes and updates based on that one change. And that's why it's so valuable to purchase these and why people are happy to buy these.
Yeah. So I have some spreadsheets I sell right now at the time we're recording this. I have two that I sell. One of them is the most popular one, is the annual, quarterly, and weekly planning spreadsheet. In hindsight, I should have come up with like a cool name for it, but that's just what it's always been. Yeah, there's time. But for now, that summarizes. It's something I made for myself to track and plan everything, because I felt like I had too many places where I was logging my goals and then the actual reality of everything. So kind of combined everything in one place, and I started selling it, and it was like, blew my mind. It's an affordable product, and it blew my mind at the power of passive income. And
Yeah.
it's still nice to just like, I get a little check from Gumroad every month, and it's like, hey, I didn't really do anything for this.
Yeah.
Like I set it up, worked up front, and now it just comes in. And if you want to know more about those, you can go to meganmins.com/spreadsheets, where I kind of walk you through them. And if you want to buy them yourself, you can. But it's just a good example if you're thinking about doing spreadsheets of how you could do that as well. But I think, so both of those are really more spreadsheet oriented, but you can definitely do calculators like you talked about, where the calculations automatically adjust, and then trackers, like just building out these things for people so they don't have to worry about how to build it out themselves, and trial and error can really save people so much time.
Like tracking, we have internally at Femtrepreneur, we have like blog growth trackers, and like we don't even sell these, we could, but things that are like to track our stats every month. We have different spreadsheets available to track our email list and our social media followers, and everything is being calculated, and then we can look at it on graphs and things like that. I also think your example of your spreadsheets is so cool, because if anyone hasn't seen the video, you should definitely go to meganmins.com/spreadsheets and watch it, because Megan specifically says, here's what the spreadsheets look like. Here's a video of literally how they work. You are welcome to go and make your own. But if you just want to save the time, you could just buy them. You know what I mean? So I love how you're so open about like, here's everything. Here's an entire video of every single thing that you would see when you buy this product. Of course, you could go make it yourself. If you just want to save an hour and just like, you'd rather spend $12, like just do it, you know? And I think I love that way that you've promoted those. I know it's a little tangent, but I just really like how it just goes to show that people are still happy to pay for the value of having it done.
Yeah, and that was a big learning lesson for me, because when I was recording the video, I was like, I'm showing too much. No one's going to buy these, but like I might as well just be okay. It was kind of an experiment. And I did have a few people comment and be like, thank you so much for showing and saying that, because I do like to make my own templates. So I went ahead and made my own, but like, thank you so much. And then 99% of the other people were like, oh my gosh, it was $9. So it's like, I'm totally going to buy this, because it would take an hour or more to like recreate this instead of doing it. Totally. So to me, that touches on really all of these examples. If you're ever wondering, like, why would someone buy this? It's not only, in our design example, it's more accessible than maybe one-on-one work with you, but also with all of these, they save time. People want the shortcut. People want someone to guide them. And if they can really affordably buy that from you and have your guidance instantly and know and feel confident that they're doing it the right way, I think that's why these products are so successful, because they're not usually too expensive. People can kind of test it out, but they're still getting that guidance that they're looking for, and it answers those questions that they have.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a good point. Okay, well, we have our fifth passive income product is a technical tutorial. So this is basically where you show screen share videos. You create screen share videos of you step by step, like literally what your mouse is doing, setting up something technical, just some easy to follow, what we call like over the shoulder type videos, where it's as if someone is there with you, watching you fill things out on your computer screen. And these are really easy to deliver. Again, this is something either people can download them and just have the video files, or you could host this in a course site, but it's not the same as like a big program where there's a lot of like follow up, and usually there's not like a community or something like that. This is just really simple. Yeah. So we have an example. We have a ConvertKit training. It's like a little mini class that we don't actually sell publicly right now, but we do have that. And that's just a good example of like Megan made screen share videos of how to set up ConvertKit. Another really good example is Learn Scrivener Fast, which I know we've talked about before in other podcasts, and I've talked about a lot because it's just such a successful example of someone who took a software product and just made screen share videos. And they're like, this is kind of complicated. There's a bit of a learning curve to learn Scrivener, which is a software for writers to write their books. And he just made screen share videos and sold them, and has made hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, doing that, which is awesome.
So impressive. I feel like it was I don't remember when that course.
It was a while ago
when that training came out, but it's like one of the first examples.
Yeah, it was one of the first. It's totally like one of the first examples of someone being like, did you know you could make money? There's another one. There was another one that's like, how to use Evernote. And there was this course that made millions of dollars or something. about how to just use Evernote to its fullest potential. And it's like one of those examples that when you first hear about it, you're like, no way. And then that really opens your mind to what's possible.
Yeah. And we have a product called Website in a Box, which to me is completely under this category of a tech tutorial. It is hosted on a course site since it is video dense, but it really is tech tutorials where I guide you through step-by-step creating a website that will convert in Squarespace. And we do this with webinar pages and sales pages, and we're going to have more different pages coming soon as well. But this is just a great example where I'm sharing my screen and I am just guiding you step-by-step through creating this template in Squarespace.
Yeah.
So you can check that out at websiteinAbox.co if you want to learn more.
It's
little plug.
It gets the best reviews. Website in a Box is always, people are like, oh my God, this is so dead simple, because it is. You've made it so easy, because it literally is like Megan is walking you through step by step how to do everything.
Yeah. But I think when we first created it, we kind of kept calling it a course, and we were looking at it afterwards and we're like, it's not a course. Like this is a product with this is a tech training that we're guiding you through creating something. It's not like 8 modules where I teach you
it's like you just do it in an hour psychology. And then it's done.
Yeah. So I love this, and I definitely think any industry and niche, you could be one of the first to do a tech tutorial product in your industry. I mean, so pretty much any industry could use this type of training.
So true. All right. Well, if you're interested in sort of the nitty gritty of how all this stuff works, we talked a little bit about the delivery of these being very passive. But if you want to know what tech systems we actually use to deliver these, we've hinted at some of them. But if you want to know what technical systems, like what payment processor, what delivery software you need to actually make these processes automated and passive so that it truly is passive income, check out our passive income systems and tools guide that goes along with this episode, so that you can see exactly how to connect everything up so that everything is seamless and you don't have to do anything once you get this set up on your website.
Yeah, and you can go to thefemshow.com/46 to download the passive income systems and tools guide, and to also see examples, get links to everything we mentioned today, and read the blog post that accompanies this episode. So again, that is at thefemshow.com/46. And if you want to discuss this episode with us and our amazing community of online entrepreneurs, make sure you join our free Facebook group at thefemshow.com/community.
And if you like this episode, please subscribe to the Femtrepreneur Show on iTunes and leave us a rating and a review, because we'll love you forever. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a comment below with your thoughts. We love hearing from you and talking to you in the comments. And remember to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any more awesome episodes. If you have a question that you want us to answer live on the show and you want us to give you a shout out, then go to thefemshow.com and submit your questions. And we will see you next week. This morning, Matt was like, "Oh, is it the season for your summer moo-moo?" He was like,
I was gonna compliment.
I love this shirt.
Like it.
It's just like a really cool shirt. And Matt was like, "Oh, I see. It's the season of the moo." It's like not even a dress. It's just a t-shirt.
Yeah. Does he know what a moo-moo is?
Yeah, I don't think so.